Hi, I'm Kathy. I just want to give a quick review on the new iPhone 6, which I'm using to take this video. I happened to get it yesterday. I waited patiently at the AT&T store during my lunch, and if it wasn't for a delay that dealt with dealing with my 5S when I first had that when I got it the first day, needing to be swapped out, under warranty for an issue, that held up changing it in the account, I didn't have to be out that long to get it. I happen to have the 128 gig, the AT&T store that I went to in Nanuet, New York, happened to have either the 16 or 128 still in stock. All the 6 Pluses, which it seemed to be that Apple only supplied a certain number to, I think, a lot of carriers in store, maybe due to pre-stocking and everyone trying to flock to get it, was already out. I got a quick look at both because I was standing behind some people who were looking at the two display models. And I have to tell you, they were the same thinness, which I have to tell you. I've had the 3GS. I didn't have it for long before the 4 came out because I wanted to try iPhones, which I think are really the smartphones for dummies. I've seen Androids and I can't figure out where some settings are, so I'll give Apple that. They made it really user-friendly overall, where to find things. So the fact that it's thinner and so much lighter, I also think in a way they've gone a little back to the 3 with the fact that it's also, I think, a little slippery. So if you're not careful, you can drop this phone pretty quick and easily. As there was a video shown online from someone in Australia that did, unless that was a setup. But either way, it can happen. So far, from what I can see just looking at recording this, the video quality, the camera quality on the front is fantastic. Not sure how it is for the back, but if the front is good, then the back must be. I took a few basic pictures of people while at lunch today with it, and they seem to be a lot clearer, a lot sharper. And again, as you can see, I'm not exactly a 20/20 sighted person, so my getting the iPhone 6 was because I noticed I had to hold my previous 5S and other phones closer just to see certain things. So the fact that with the 8 system can view in Zoom or standard, but so far, I've switched back and forth, and I haven't really noticed a huge difference. But the fact that I'm able to see what I need to look at a lot better, because the 6 is bigger than all the previous models, is fine. But to look at the two together, there wasn't a huge difference overall. It's like, 4.7 to 5.5, and that may sound huge. But in looking at it, you have to take into consideration that it would be a combination of width and height difference. So, and I'm not sure how many cases they're going to have out there on the market right now to protect them. So, I would have to say if you're going to get any kind of iPhone or even an Android, invest in a really hard case, not, a soft rubbery one that just goes on, or one that just because it looks cute, and things like that. Get one, either I would recommend OtterBox Defender, because that also comes with a holster. So it's not only got a rubber cover and a hard plastic shell, you can actually, instead of having to put in your pocket, which is easy for a phone to fall out of or for you to damage in some other way, you can keep it handy for you to reach in case you need it, and it also is protective of the phone. So the lightness of this, when wearing it on the holster, I have the Pelican case, which has no rubber casing, but except in a few spots, but it's a hard case, and it seems to be sturdy. But I really don't drop my phones. I never have. So, I'm pretty careful. I mean, I'm 50 years old, so I'm pretty careful. So anyone who's very active or has a job in construction or anything where, or law enforcement where you're out, and you may have things happen, I would recommend the OtterBox brand, the Defender. Someone in another video said about the back camera being a little bit protrusive, I guess because of the way they changed the camera, and that it doesn't lay flat on a surface. Well, again, do not have your phone not in a case. Most cases will then provide a layer that will then make the rear camera not stand out. It's a no-brainer. They were doing drop tests, and I'm thinking, why would you want to make sure of how it works? Because you shouldn't be dropping your phone. And if you're going to buy, an expensive item, I've seen people just put, they'll carry a laptop in a case. Well, why are you doing that? To protect it. So I think it's just common sense. Most of us with cell phones, especially nowadays since they're more computerized, to actually put them in a hard case. You've spent the money, you've done whatever with your account, however it is. You've made an investment, and you should protect that investment. Also, like the other models, I would say turning it off once a day will help with the battery life, etc. And you can also charge it while it is off, as long as you've started charging it about 3 minutes before you turned it off. That way, if you don't need it on, it can be off. If you needed charging while off, when you're asleep, etc., you can do it, and it'll be fine. And it will charge while it's off. Little trick I found out, because if you never turn off your iPhones, they go into shock. And the Apple Store Genius Bar staff didn't know what that reason was, but AppleCare, when I had the 3GS, were the ones that told me, have you ever turned it off? I said, no, well, it doesn't charge when it's off. And that's when they, informed me as to that's why. So like your computer, like your tablets, like your Kindles and Nooks, turn them off periodically. Helps the processor reset and helps it last longer overall. But so far, this phone has been really good. It's the white with the gold on the back, but it's in a case now, so I'm never going to remember that. But so far, I like it, and it's been just over 24 hours. Again, for those of us who, I could have gone with an Android, a Galaxy, but all of my stuff is already loaded onto iTunes. I bothered to get another computer this year, so, I have everything saved. And, I may go Android eventually, but, it's so far, in the comparative size, I would say, to the Samsung Galaxies. And I'm not talking the Note classes or the Mega. I'm talking like the 4, the S5, that. I looked at it, and it looked about the same. So, in a trend of phones having been huge when they were brick phones when they first came out, to going small with the flips, now they're big again. Honestly, how big do you really need a phone? Eventually, it's going to look like you're carrying a laptop against your ear, or you'll just have to constantly use Bluetooth or even the earbuds. So, all those who are hoping for the 6 Plus, really wasn't that much bigger than the 6. And if you have an iPad, maybe you can get phone service attached to that and you'll have the same thing. Bye.